The day of the dragon. It's Flaming Dragon Friday.
Yes, it is.
Let it be said. Let it be screamed, scrammed, whatever the past tense of that is. Let it be yelled into the night. How about that? I got a great show for you today. Tim Brando's going to join us, talk some college football, going to talk some Oklahoma. We got rapid fire, and I cannot wait for Blaine to attempt to pronounce these hockey names.
Yeah, I don't know if we should do that.
No, we're going to be honest. No, we're definitely doing it.
I got a group of people together and decided we shouldn't do that.
Yeah, who's in that group?
We got a bigger group.
So you and
that's crazy you say that because we just added more to the group.
Stupid.
Yeah.
They're like, Blaine, I don't think you should.
It's happening
publicly.
That's definitely going to happen. Also, we got the gun. Got the grill gun? Show it to him. Flaming Dragon Friday. Hit it.
Wait.
God, figure it out.
Wait.
Look at this.
What is going on?
Hold on.
This is your day.
This disaster.
No.
Well,
hey.
Wow.
Hey.
Wow.
Look, it disappears for one day, and this is what I get.
Hey.
It's on. Why is it on low flame?
Sometimes it don't always work for a ninja.
What is it?
Yeah.
You know? Look, I be out there ninja chopping, and this is the only thing I get right here.
See what happens when Walsh takes the grill gun?
I get it. It goes away one day, and now it's just
Can
like.
you turn it up on the top right there?
I don't know. I don't want to blow anything up.
Yeah, I really don't want you to kill all of us.
This is your fault, Justine.
Yeah. Well,
It's on you.
she got it back.
Not enough.
The Oklahoma Sooners look to bounce back this year before they bounce from the Big 12. The NCAA basketball tournament will not expand, at least for now. And Tim Brando of Fox Sports is going to join us to talk everything college football. I'm Jake Crain, and welcome to Crain & Company. It seems that all we hear about when it comes to the Big 12 this year is Texas, and I get it. They're arguably the biggest brand in college football, and it does seem that they're poised to potentially have a big year. But there hasn't been a ton of chatter about Oklahoma and Brent Venables heading into year 2, and at this stage, I'd be willing to bet that's exactly how he wants it. Now, he wants that chip on the shoulder mentality. He wants to be able to circle the wagons, pun intended, and take on the moniker of it's us against the world. And at least to this point, seems like it's going to be pretty easy to emphasize that to his players. Now, while the Sooners are somewhat of a question mark this year, when you actually dive into the roster a little bit, there's an opportunity for OU to be somewhat dangerous. Now, we know QB1 Dylan Gabriel has some witch in him. He's got to stay healthy. Marvin Mims may be gone, but Jaleel Farouk and Drake Stoops, a.k.a. Haru the Great White Ninja, are back. And with Andale Anthony coming in from Michigan and Austin Stogner at tight end, it could be a pretty formidable combo as well. Now, the biggest question to me when I look at him is how the offensive line's going to gel. And Stanford tackle transfer Walter Rouse could be the bookend tackle that we're used to seeing in Norman. Match him with a legit center in Andrew Rame, and you got a pretty good 1-2 punch there as well with some other guys returning. Now, I am worried about their depth up front on the offensive line, but only time will tell if that's going to fall into place. Now, defensively last year, if we're going to be honest, they just didn't have the cats. Some pieces were nice, like Danny Stutzman, and he returns, as well as Jordan Kelly and Isaiah Coe in the middle on the defensive line. But there's a reason the Sooners finished dead last in pass defense in the Big 12 and gave up more first downs than any team on the planet. But I'd be willing to bet that that unit's going to be much different thanks to the transfer portal. And you can believe Brent Venables isn't having any more of having a soft defense. He wants his team to be nasty. He wants them to be physical. And he has the dudes to be able to go line up and kick somebody's ass a little bit on defense. But perhaps the most useful tool of all is that they can actually be sneaky this year. Now, Oklahoma rarely has that ability because we know who they really are and how big that brand is, and it doesn't take much to get them going. So let's see if the boys from Norman can put their name back in the big lights this year, because they could very well be a snake in the grass in the national landscape of college football. I'm going to go and bring in my co-host, former Michigan quarterback, David Cohn. And look, it's Friday, so we know who's sitting in my right.
This is flaming vodka!
Bow to yourself.
Who is this? Who is this on the phone?
Shh, let it happen. This is good. 2.5.
2.5?
2.5.
That's what it's at. All right, if you don't know, if you're new to the show,
I'm going to get it out of you today.
I cannot use his government name. All right, I have to refer to him as Flaming Dragon or our personal favorite, Flaming. So it's got to be under 2.5.
I think Flaming counts.
They will need a binding agreement.
Yes. What do you mean?
Spank that ass, Les. Spank that ass, Les.
But David, looking at Oklahoma, and not that nobody's talking about him, and Brent Venables did make some waves yesterday. I don't know if you saw where he said
see a little bit.
He's like, it's one thing to go 6-7 and get blown out by Middle Tennessee and
shots at Miami
45-3.
I wouldn't be doing that.
I wouldn't be doing that either. But the defense is going to get turned around with Venables there. And when you add the pieces, and if you look at Oklahoma last year, when you don't have the personnel, especially in the back end, I mean, they were getting ran by in the secondary. It seemed that once you broke that front seven, you broke the box. There was a lot of big runs that hit. You look at the first downs given up. But now that you bring in the Wake Forest transfer, you bring in guys that you feel like have not only added solid pieces of that starting 11, but depth, you can run more man and feel good about it. You can blitz more and feel good about it because you don't feel like you're going to get your pants pulled down. You can run stunt more. Because you feel like a safety can come up and make a play. So I expect the defense to take a big step. Mm-hmm. Gabriel has to stay healthy. I like the pieces they have on offense. Jaleel Farouk's a kid that I've watched since he was in high school. I know how talented he is. When you look at Oklahoma, how under the radar do you think this team is?
Well, we talked about it a little bit yesterday. They are certainly flying under the radar. That's without a doubt. But everything you said is correct. Plus, you add in the fact that a lot of times these offensive-centric coaches can strike hot early on, year one, year two. We see that all the time. The defensive-centric coaches, it does take a little bit longer. I mean, Nick Saban struggled that first year at Alabama. We saw Kirby Smart. It took him a couple years at Georgia. So with Brent Venables entering year two, and it's, interesting enough, he's taking shots at Miami because I think the three coaches for me entering year two that are most exciting to watch, or I want to see what's going to happen, is Lincoln Riley, Brent Venables, and then Mario Cristobal at Miami, like we were talking about. So, when you look at last season, what really sticks out are those two blowout losses. Getting blanked 49-0 against your biggest rival at Texas, not a good look. Then you have a 31-point loss to TCU, who came out of nowhere. That's what sticks out in people's mind. But if you look at the last 4 losses of the season, that's Baylor, West Virginia, Texas Tech, and then the bowl game at Florida State. All of those losses are by 3 points. Okay. Now look at the schedule this year. I'm just going to rattle this off quickly. Arkansas State, SMU, Tulsa, Cincinnati, Iowa State. You get the Red River Shootout, a neutral site against Texas. Central Florida, Kansas. You go to Oklahoma State with Bedlam, West Virginia, BYU, and then TCU. There's no Kansas State on there.
That's pretty favorable, man.
There's no Texas Tech on there. Like, that's as good of a schedule as you can ask for with your last year in the Big 12 if you're Oklahoma.
Yeah, without a doubt.
So I'm looking around like, man, I think, maybe we were shorting Oklahoma a little bit on their season win totals when we did the overs and unders because, they could enter the Texas game at 5-0 right there. And I'm just telling you, if you love college football, if you're listening and you love college football, do not miss the Bedlam rivalry this year.
Yeah.
This could be the last installment that we see of Oklahoma and Oklahoma State for maybe 2 decades. That is going to be an incredible football game.
Yeah, without a doubt, and I'm glad you brought up the schedule. Flaming, number one, I want you to talk about that chip on the shoulder mentality going into fall camp, and especially how a defensive coach, and we know Brent Venables is a get after your ass, let's fly around, let's physical practices, this is who we're going to be, and that's a great kind of balance going into the Southeastern Conference too, which we know is a rough and tumble conference. But the second thing is looking at this schedule. You brought up Texas. There's a really good chance. I mean, SMU, no Tanner Mordecai.
Yep.
He's gone to Wisconsin. Not saying they're not going to be good.
No game's going to be easy.
No game's going to be easy. But at Tulsa, winnable. At Cincinnati, I believe in the Snuffleupagus more than I do in Satterfield there at Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. Iowa State at home. The Texas game, then you get UCF at home. I'm looking at Texas, at Kansas, at Oklahoma State, and then the last 2 at BYU, which Keaton Slovis will probably be hurt by then. I don't wish anybody getting hurt, but, that's just who he is. And then TCU at home. If you can go 4-1 or even 3-2 in that 5-game slate, you can mess around and go 10-2 this year.
We're talking about Oklahoma. So we're not talking about Kansas. And I don't know how.
Well, don't sleep on Kansas.
I don't know. I'm talking about just when it comes to a team that should have a chip on their shoulder. It's Oklahoma. You're one of the best and biggest in the Big 12, you've been like that. I don't know how Oklahoma's flying under the radar.
Who's talking about them?
Who's not talking about them? Everyone's talking about Texas and Oklahoma.
Everybody's
One, because they're moving
That's not
conferences.
Texas.
One, because they're moving
That's
conferences.
not true.
And any two teams that get talked when it comes to the Big 12 is Texas and Oklahoma. Hell, Oklahoma might even being talked more because of how bad they played last year.
Well, they did have a losing record last year.
For sure, you never see that from Oklahoma. But we know what Venables is going to do. Hell, you can't be worse on defense. You gave up 30 points a game. You have Dylan Gabriel, who's, my opinion, would be good to maybe sprinkle a little money on for the dark horse of the Heisman. It's the way he plays, the arm he has and the talent he has in the pocket. But I don't think Oklahoma, one, is not walking with a chip on his shoulder. They should. You're one of the best and biggest teams in the conference, even before you go to the SEC. And I think Oklahoma, at this point, you can't have a worse year than last year. You're automatically going to be better. No Kansas State, no Texas Tech. You can start 5-0 walking into Texas. And I think right now, with the defense that you got, right, with the transfer, the linebacker who led the Big 12 in tackles, you got another linebacker from Indiana who was a All-American freshman who's going to be an absolute dog. Venables is going to fix it, but people are talking about Oklahoma. I haven't heard anybody talk about Kansas State.
I've watched Big 12 Media Days every single day.
I have too.
Every single day. I have heard probably 10 minutes on Oklahoma. You know what I hear? I hear Sonny Dykes and TCU. I hear Texas. Hell, now when you hear about Texas, they're talking about Texas A&M. I'm not hearing a ton of Oklahoma. I have heard a bunch of Kansas State. Will Howard right now, a lot of people are picking him as a sleeper to make it to New York to win the Heisman. I'm hearing about the 4 new teams in the Big 12. Typically, Oklahoma is one of the biggest talked about teams in Big 12 Media Days. Right now, they're getting treated like a normal team in the Big 12. You want to know what people are talking about most with Oklahoma? The Bedlam rivalry being gone and what Mike Gundy's saying about it. So nobody right now I'm seeing is picking Oklahoma to win the Big 12. Who have you seen that's
different
Oklahoma
from picking Oklahoma to win the Big 12 and not talking about it?
Not to Oklahoma.
Well, still, you're getting talked about. It's not like no one's talking about Oklahoma.
Nobody's saying they're getting ignored. What I'm saying is you're not getting the typical pub that Oklahoma gets. And some of it is because people still don't believe in Brent Venables. And you know what? I get it. Yeah, they struggled last year, but you do need time. My point is, right, if Oklahoma was ever going to sneak under the radar, if that was ever going to happen at any point in the history of college football, this is the year to do it. Because if they go out and go 10-2 and then going into the SEC, it's going to be high hopes, handshakes, and hugs. That's what it's going to be. So this is the only year that Brent Venables can use that tool. That is my main point. But I'm just telling you, the more I look at this schedule, I'm looking at Texas. Again, we talked about Texas a lot the other day, right? They met with Chris Marler from Saturday Down South. At the end of the day, Texas could sneak their way in the college football playoff, make your jokes, make your laughs, make your giggles, Texas is back, whatever. Every year is different. So I think it's a fascinating storyline. I think they could possibly have the quote-unquote easiest schedule. I like to say the lightest schedule in the Big 12. So it's going to continue to be interesting, but they're going to be prepared. And guys, before we get to the Booster Club, you know how you can be prepared? We all know shopping for a car is stressful, right? Right? It's one of the biggest purchases you're going to make. But with Carzing, buying a new car can be a whole heck of a lot stressful because you can be prepared. You know what it is, you're sports fans out there? It's a scouting report for buying a car. You go into the game with a game plan. You know what to expect. You go into the dealership and spend the entire day in there with a crowd. Typically, it's stressful, and you have the potential to not even find the right car. But with Carzing, that's Carzing, it completely changes the way you buy a car. David, we talk about it every time we talk about Carzing. I like being prepared. All right, you can call it OCD, you can call it OC, you can call it ABCD, EFG. I don't care, but I like being prepared.
I like being prepared too. I wouldn't call it ABC, but that,
you know. Ipso facto.
Well, ipso facto. Be prepared when you get your car.
Flaming Dragon, you just bought a whip.
I did. It's great. And I mean, the thing about it is, I always go back to this. Even if you're not comfortable about it, maybe you're not even in the market. Go peek around a little bit.
Yeah.
Go walk by a window shop a little bit.
You can instantly pre-qualify online without it affecting your credit score. You can get instant financing details, what your monthly payment would be, term payment, and APR, and you can find the right car at an ideal budget. So visit carzing.com, carzing.com / booster today to skip the guesswork and find the best deals near you. That's carzing.com /booster. Go check them out. It's a really good product. Let's go ahead, Flamin' Dragon.
Let's go to Ryan Gade, $5 donation. Appreciate it, Ryan. He says, it's been 3 weeks without Flaming Dragon Friday. I know. We've all felt it. Jake's rusting. He's going to smash you over. Hashtag French spy.
Nope, I'm so locked in right
Hashtag
now.
French
You have
spy.
no idea how locked in right now.
He's a
I'm
spy.
basically oh boy from Entourage and Shut In right now. I'm
I
just
don't
locked
know.
in.
I don't know how locked you can get the sentence right. Let's go to Cole Frink, $5 donation. LeBron is mid, MJ's the GOAT. It's a good way to start off lying in the morning, Cole. I can't wait for Flaming Dragon to read some hockey names. I'm not sure if I'm
Oh, it's
going to
gonna
do
be
that.
great.
Jake, you still haven't joined the Discord.
Oh, Cole.
Trader Jake.
I will do it
Trader
today. I had to hop on the radio yesterday right when we got done with the All Access. It's on me, kid. It's on me, babe.
Wow, I love this new one in here. Blaine's Bucket Step.
Oh, whoa.
Come on.
Kicking back,
Blaine's
getting the
$10
work in.
donation. I believe in you, Flaming Dragon. I believe in you, Bucket Step. Stay lurking, and they'll say the B word. Also, Jake probably wishes he was in France right now.
Now, hold on.
Yeah.
We got to get something straight here because if I say his name, that's not saying your name.
Oh, that's a great. I never even thought about that.
If you
I could
say
say his-
Blaine,
No.
yes.
Well, but
That's fine. Listen,
Because if
David,
I say-
David,
Are we doing this today?
David,
I
we
want to
thrive
test
through
it.
adversity.
I want to test
Are
it.
we doing?
thrive
You should
through
test it.
adversity.
I want
You
to
should
test it.
We thrive.
You should
see what the
Don't
ruling
test
is.
it.
You should test it.
Don't
Live a little. Dave.
test it.
It has bucket step at the end
David,
of it.
look,
That's
David,
a
you're
totally
right.
different name.
David,
David.
you're right. You should test it.
David,
Dave,
don't fall for his witchery.
Dave, right here.
Don't do it.
Right here.
Don't do it.
Test it.
Move on. Move on. Who's next?
Mulan.
I said move on, not
Oh.
Mulan. Send a cartoon.
My bad. Hey, don't hate on Mulan like that.
I love Mulan. I'm a big Mushu guy.
Let's go to Mighty Ice 1994. He's earlier comment. David, he says he loves your get up today. You're looking phenomenal.
Thank you.
Hashtag no homo. That's
Appreciate
what he
it.
said here, absolutely. But he also agrees with Jake. Coming from an off year they had last year and all the talk about Texas, Oklahoma can sneak up in there and be back to normal.
That's
form.
true.
I really think
True.
they can, man.
Let's go to Texas Ed. There's a difference between not knowing OU will be good and OU not being the biggest story in the Big 12.
Yeah, I agree with that.
yeah.
I agree with that.
Ethan Williams, what's up, Ethan? Was just listening back on yesterday's episode, and Blaine's bringing Ritz crackers to the charcuterie board party. Line absolutely killed me. You're welcome.
That was a good
As
one.
long as you don't get me to say smorgasbord, I should be all right.
Still can't say it.
I literally just said it correctly.
No,
wrong.
you,
No,
didn't.
You
It's
didn't
not,
say it correctly.
It's not a mixture.
Smorgasbord.
It's not a mixture of a dessert you eat at a campfire and then
wow.
board.
Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Perfect. Let's go to Steve's action figure frenzy. I was going to say other for Ohio, but how many Buckeyes are actually from Ohio? That brings us to our poll today. Which state has the best high school football? Let this marinate a little bit.
I can already
Texas,
tell you right now.
Cali, Florida, or other?
Why is Georgia?
Georgia's not
one of
on
the
there?
three? What
Georgia's not in one
What
of
a
the
It's
three.
in
horrible
other.
job by you already.
It's
It's
in
in
other.
other with
What a-
Hawaii.
It's
over there with Hawaii.
It's in
and
other.
and
Rhode
Rhode
Island.
Island. Yeah. Wow.
Wow, just disrespect Georgia like that, huh?
Guys,
Fumble.
it's like I'm out here living my life. All right, Cole Frink, $2 donation. Thank you, Cole. Flaming Dragon, let's hit the over today.
No.
A lot of cheering for the over. I'm still waiting on you to test.
Hey, we're not going to hit the over. And I need you to just stop making blanket statements, okay? Blanket statements.
Whoa.
See, there it is.
Blanket
You can't say
statements. Blanket
can't say blanket?
statements.
See,
Got y'all.
see, you're not-
See,
Trey,
now, see,
you're
now
right.
I'm on my game now, and I
Trey.
need an apology
Trey.
from the control
Trey back
room
there, you got to
there.
fix
I don't know
it.
about
Yeah.
that.
You gotta
said
fix it.
Blaine.
Trey, you got to fix
Blanket
it.
statements over there from you are just not going to
Trey,
work
fix
today
it.
on this Friday.
Fix it.
I don't know. I feel like you
So
said
we're going to
it.
keep these
Allow
going.
it.
I'm going to find every
Thank
word.
you.
that's
Whoa,
in
wow.
Thank
there.
you. Thank you.
I'll allow it. I won't
Still
allow
zero.
it.
He said
I'm gonna
Blaine
find
said
every
it.
word.
He did it on
Stop playing
purpose.
games.
I'm going to find
Stop
every
playing
word that starts with the beginning of your name,
Yeah.
and we're going to have a field day.
See, like now they're just
Because
cheating.
now, cheating.
I mean, there's,
Hey,
Now
he's
we're going to
just,
have a lot
he's
of
just
fun.
saying my name and just adding stuff on it so you
do-
can get away
What
with
other words? Booster Club, tell me what other words
We do have
start.
call-ins today, 1-855-236-3228. Going to go right to those after we bring Tim Brando in. Make sure you throw those questions in there, especially for college football. Want to make sure we dive into that, because that's where we're going to dive into with Brando. Do we have anything else before we move on?
No.
No college
Yep.
football questions.
No.
Wow, that's shocking. All right, let's get into rapid fire.
Rapid fire. Do you want a sound effect for that?
I do.
Let me find it first. There we go. Major League Baseball, the second half starts today. Post All-Star break. Which teams you guys looking at to really break out here?
Well, I'll give you one good surprise and one bad surprise. I think the Mariners are going to come back and win the AL West when I look at this bad boy. I wouldn't say they underachieved in the first half. I just look at that roster. Expected a lot from them, a team that I think still has a chance to win the World Series or at least get there. I know people in Seattle are like, what? We never get to the World Series. We never win it, not even with Griffey. But they're 6 games back. Astros are 2 games back of the Rangers. I'm just waiting for the Rangers to Post Malone fall apart. But I think Seattle's going to come back there and be a good surprise. Bad surprise, Man, I think it's hard to have a bad surprise right now when I look at the AL Central. It's just an absolute, cluster over there. But I feel like the Reds are going to fall off the map a little bit.
You do?
I do.
Really?
I hate to say that. Big Joey Votto guy. Love me some Ellie De La Cruz.
Joey
I think
V.
he's one of the most exciting players in sports, not just Major League Baseball. But I'm looking at the Brew Crew. They're one game back. I don't believe in the Cubs. Welcome to the club. I think the Brewers end up not only taking over the lead in the NL Central, but I think they get a big one.
Man, listen to this. Just in the American League, you got the Rays leading the AL East, Orioles 2 games back. Cleveland leading the AL Central, the Twins only a half game back. Rangers still in the lead of the AL West, Astros 2 games back. And then you look over to the NL Central, like you were talking about with the Reds. So you think they're going to fall apart. Brewers only 1 game back. That's going to be a heck of a matchup going down the stretch. And then the NL West, Dodgers and D-backs tied right now.
Yeah, Giants only 2.5 back, too, at third right there.
So, I mean, this is going to be fascinating. Hey, Flaming Dragon, almost.
Yeah, good.
Flaming
Good
Dragon.
Attaboy.
Yankees, 4th in the AL East
Not good
right
enough.
now.
How far back are they?
8 games back.
Doable.
Not good enough.
What's going to happen in the second half?
Oh, I think. First of all, we can't hit. We can't hit.
How is that possible?
Everyone's asking that
You
question.
play in a little league park.
Everybody's
Play at
asking that question.
Williamsport.
All right, I don't need just the insults right now. I'm just trying to get this out. All right. Aaron Judge got a little banged up. We know it's going to happen. No one's surprised with that. But hey, new hitting coach, Sean Casey, coming in. Maybe fix some things. Start throwing some sunflower seeds at
Great
guys.
stash.
Great stash. Get a wiffle bat, some sunflower seeds. I feel like the Yankees, from a hitting standpoint, can't get any worse. So at this point, I think it's going to get better.
Really?
I think the Yankees are going to start off hot coming out. I think we're going to start off hot. I think we're going to build. We're going to start building that foundation a little bit, start seeing the ball a lot better. Let's get deep in some counts.
Let's get deep in some.
Let's see a couple.
Can we have some quabs?
Let's see a couple.
Can we have some quabs?
Hey,
Quality
Tell everybody, tell everybody what a quab is.
Hey, maybe a letdown, though. What about the Rays?
Really?
Really? What were they coming into the All-Star break? I think they lost 7 of 8.
Oh, God, y'all got the Rockies.
Needed some rest. I mean, the second half of the schedule is going to be a little bit easy. I think you start with the Royals, which is basically DeMarcus Cousins. It's going to be a walk in the park.
Yeah, well, it's...
But I do think they're going to fall a little bit. I don't think they're going to swing the sticks as good as they... I mean, the run differential is what, plus 149? It's ridiculous, all right? No one stays this hot for that long, all right? Nobody does. So I think the Rays are going to, not fall off a cliff, but maybe, stumble down a couple.
Open the door a little bit?
Yeah, I don't know what war movie that was with Mark Wahlberg where they just fell off cliffs for 3 hours.
Oh, Lone Survivor.
Lone Survivor, when they just fell off cliffs for 3.5 hours.
And that movie.
I just couldn't do it.
That
I'm
hurt
not a
me to
huge
watch.
fan, but I do think the Rays are not going to be as good as they were in the first half.
If you want the Yankees to start off hot, they got a great matchup coming here after the All-Star break. They're playing the Rockies, which are basically a Double-A team wearing a blindfold.
Yeah, not good. Well, the Yankees, they keep writing those blank checks to everyone.
Well, there's some whispers in the wind.
There's some whispers in the wind.
Oh, hey, Shohei.
Yeah, right.
I mean, Ohtani might be coming and wearing some pinstripes.
Yeah, Brian, I got that cash, man.
Come on.
All right, next one. The NCAA tournament will not be expanding in basketball.
God.
For now, though. Look, you give them enough time in a room together, they're going to figure out a way to mess something up.
Look, they put together like this fairness and friendship committee or something to look at everything going from 68 to 90 teams. See, don't touch it. 68 teams is plenty. You're never going to make everybody happy. It's just like the 69th team and the 70th team and the 71st team, they're pissed off they didn't get in, right? And then you look at, you go to 90, the 91st team's going to be upset. You're never going to make anybody happy. If you're going to do this, just let everybody in. Just turn the season into a big tournament. That's what you should do if you're going to go past this. I'm glad they decided not to, but the fact that you're looking at it, and see, this doesn't just worry me for college basketball. This line of thinking worries me for college football, because I said that 12, in my opinion, is the cap you can have, and we know we're going there, right, before it really, really screws up the regular season or waters it down a significant amount. I don't like this way of thinking. Don't touch it.
Touch it.
No.
You should touch it. More. More.
No.
I want more.
Why?
Why not?
That's not a good argument.
Why not? Just put all the teams in there. St. Peter's.
It's called the season.
You'll get all
it's
these
called the
teams in
season.
here,
They
like
put all the
we
teams
don't even
in,
know of.
and then you play the season.
We have that 1'6'8" kid from South Dakota. He's just ridiculously good. He just shoots 70% from 3 for the first 3 games, and they get beat by 50 because he has one bad game. I'm going to see all these teams in here. Just add them all. Just add them all. Why not?
That's the season.
I know, but make the season shorter and the tournament bigger and longer.
Yeah.
Double elimination.
Double elimination.
Come on.
If this guy were in charge of it.
Come on.
Chaos.
Come
He's
on.
the
Money.
Joker.
It's money.
He's the Joker.
Look, I'm trying to get your ratings up. Let them
So
fight.
that you can then burn half of it.
Yeah, but you got to think the other half will be a lot bigger than what it was, so we're going to be okay.
What doesn't kill you makes you strange.
Goodness gracious. All right, let's go to FIFA. So FIFA is giving away 20,000 free tickets for the Women's World Cup due to poor sales in New Zealand.
Okay.
The FIFA chief women's football officer said it was difficult to attract fans to football stadiums in New Zealand due to the sport's lower profile in the country. So they're giving away free tickets now.
It's like, I feel like you dressed that up. You really dressed that up.
Okay, what do you mean? What do you mean lower profile, Dave? Huh?
Her words, not
You don't think
mine.
people want to watch women's soccer, Dave?
Don't
you're
shoot
saying?
the messenger.
They're top tier athletes, David. All right, the best around.
Maybe you didn't hear. They just gave away 20,000.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
all
Buy the
jokes
tickets.
aside, first off, pretending like people don't want to go to New Zealand. If you've ever been to New Zealand, one of the
gorgeous.
most beautiful places in the world. All jokes aside, this is why when you have some of these, people, the Megan Rapinoe, we should make as much as the men. You should make what you produce, right, revenue-wise. It's it's a math problem. It's very, very simple. I don't care about your feelings. I don't care about, how upset you are. People are telling you that you're having to give away thousands of tickets. Let's run this experiment. Let's say the men were playing in New Zealand. You think they'd have this problem? And I don't blame the women's players. It's not their fault. It just is what it is. Like when I drop this and it goes down, that's gravity. You want to know why? Because it is what it is. A very famous, scientist once said, you want to know why it's called an aspen tree? Because of the way it is. How neat is that?
That is neat.
Yeah,
that's
that is
very
what
neat.
it is.
You see Megan Rapinoe try and call out Sage Steele on Twitter this week?
I don't listen.
Try and call out Sage
If you're
Steele.
gonna-
Sam Ponder and Sage Steele are really forming a dynamic duo.
love
And
that.
I'm just tired of it.
I'm just thinking about it, it's like if you're gonna have a women's soccer thing, like the World Cup thing, you need to have it to where there's nothing else to do, like in the middle of a desert or something like
It's
that.
in New Zealand.
You think I'm going to New Zealand with all those mountains and all this beautiful everything to go watch women pretend to be good at kicking around a soccer ball?
I'm just
no,
ready-
I don't
I'm
think
just-
you are, but
No one is apparently.
but where could you put the Women's World Cup that you would go and watch the Women's World Cup?
I'm just ready for Navy and
Minnesota.
Notre Dame.
In
Saturday.
If I was in Minnesota,
That's what I'm ready.
and there's like, hey, it's a Women's World Cup game. You can either do that or just hang around your house. I'd probably go.
You wouldn't go to a Twins game.
No,
Okay.
I wouldn't.
You're so disrespectful.
I wouldn't. If the Twins were, I don't know if the Twins are playing on that day. Let's
They
be
are.
honest.
I heard. Guess what? Oh, they are. Double header.
You can't sell tickets.
Double header against
You
the
can't sell
Yankees.
tickets in New Zealand. What are we doing, guys? Come on.
All right, last one. Rory McIlroy says he would rather retire than play golf on the LIV Tour.
Good, then do it. I don't have to watch you choke anymore on the golf course. Believed in you one time.
I don't
I'm so sick
believe
of Rory
him.
crying.
I don't believe
I'm
him.
so sick of this dude crying. Shut up and be rich. How about that? Just shut up and be rich, dog. I'm sick of it. You walk around with beautiful women. You get to play golf for a living. Stop crying. Then you pretended like the PGA Tour should have given you money because you didn't go to the LIV Tour when the LIV Tour didn't even ask you to join it. God, I'm so sick of this guy. Oh, I can't escape this guy.
You would think the LIV probably asked him to join it.
No, I think LIV would have made a huge deal out of asking him to join. They did everybody else who turned him down.
I think they probably, if they were smart, they would ask Rory to join. I mean, Rory is one of the best.
I don't know. LIV looks pretty smart right now.
Yeah, but
I
think,
don't know. They
yeah,
might
I
get
think-
shut down now.
Yeah,
know.
but I think they are still smart enough to ask Rory to join them. I mean, but then Rory's going to say be Rory, especially now since he's not doing it. He's just going to, just try to take the high road out of all this. And it's just, it's pointless. I mean, it's pointless at this point. I don't live, I thought they're going away, but I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know. The flash mob was terrible. I don't like seeing guys' knees. Like, it's basically a Shooter McGavin, this is golf situation.
Like, this is going to be fascinating how this plays out. Because Saudi Arabia wanted to get involved in American golf. American golf said no, so they created LIV. Then American golf said, okay, fine, you've gotten big enough. We'll partner with you now if LIV golf goes away. Well, Saudi Arabia never cared about LIV golf. They just wanted to get involved in the PGA Tour. What's going to happen with LIV now?
Yeah, well, like, it doesn't matter. You already
The
won.
Saudis are running.
Well, to me, it's like, listen, I started Wendy's. All right, I sold it for, $800 million, whatever. What do you want to do with it? I don't care. Guess what I'm going to be doing? I'm going to be in Turks and Caicos eating cheese, eggs, and potatoes. That's what they're saying in Saudi Arabia.
No, because it's not about the money to them because they're already rich.
No, but they got in. They got in the game.
It's about sports washing.
Yeah,
exactly. So all of the people who went to LIV, you take all of the players like Brooks Koepka or Dustin Johnson or Greg Norman, who was leading the charge on LIV, what happens to all of them now?
There's got to be some sort of ingratiation in this negotiation. That's what it's going to come. They're not just going to be like, all right, here, have it. It's like spies from different countries. It's like, oh, hey, got your citizenship now. Go hang out over there. Let's ingratiate. Let's assimilate. It's the whole point. They Trojan horsed them. They Trojan horsed them.
How does that about spies?
Well, so they wanted to get in. Greg Norman was never going to be able to run the PGA. That's what he wanted. Greg Norman wanted to be the top dog in the PGA. That's why he went to LIV. In this negotiation, this is the only way for them to make a power grab the people that wanted to get in the PGA that weren't let in the clubhouse. That's what it is. And now it's going to work. It's going to happen. So it's basically sending somebody, going basically by spy, I mean, they're going the back way around getting what they want and getting to the spots that they want to get. That's what I mean by it. It's going to work. So at the end of the day, I mean, say what you want about the Saudis. I don't love what they do.
The PGA folded.
Yeah,
I thought the PGA could have just literally just let him go. No one was watching it. Literally, no. There wasn't an ounce of desire in my body to ever watch a LIV golf tournament. I think a lot of people
the flash mob dance?
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people didn't want to. A lot of people weren't watching it and still aren't watching it now. But the PGA folded. We saw what happened, and so now the Saudis got their hands in it, and basically the PGA look up to talk to the Saudis what they want to do.
Yeah. So the PGA sold out, like our friends at Genucel with their dark spot corrector. All right, and our listeners have been begging for a restock. You guys have blown Genucel up, and we really appreciate it. It's a fantastic product. If you don't know, Genucel, they have the famous dark spot corrector. Like I told you, they're already sold out. It has 3 cutting-edge ingredients. I can read them to you, but what you need to understand, okay, is that Genucel, it's skincare for everyone. All right, this isn't a single. All right, just for your wife, just for your husband, just for whoever. It's for everybody. It's fantastic. I use it. My wife uses it. David Cohn uses it. Look at that beautiful face. Look at that thing right there. Flaming Dragon uses it, okay, and it still doesn't get burned. It's amazing. Their most popular package includes summer essentials as well, like their best-selling Ultra Retinol Moisturizer. It has a powerful retinol alternative for safe use in the sun. You don't have to worry about getting fried like an egg, and you'll be amazed at how quickly you see results, or you get 100% of your money back, all right? So go to Genucel.com/booster. That's GENUCEL.com/booster to get your dark spot corrector and their most popular package. And everybody listen, it's a pretty big deal, okay? If you go to Genucel.com/booster right now, you save 70% off their most popular package. It's basically free. You're paying for 30% of it. Imagine if you only had to pay for 30% of the gas you put in your car or anything in general. It'd be fantastic. We're doing the opposite right now, though. And all orders, okay, if you use that code, will include a mystery luxury gift while supplies last. David, real quick, Genucel, sum it up in one word.
Perfection.
Yes. Flaming. One word, Genucel.
Perfection.
Wow. Very original. Genucel.com.
Really vibing right now.
Check it out. All right, we got Timmy B coming on here in 7 minutes. But before we get back to the Booster Club, let's get to some NHL names.
No, I don't want to do this.
Yes.
I don't want to do this.
So,
it's your time to shine, Blaine.
I didn't get my consent for this.
Dude, you can do this. All right, so we're going to flash a name, hockey name, up on the screen.
I don't want to.
And Flaming is going to attempt.
You quit calling me Flaming?
You're Flaming.
Oh, no,
I'm not.
You
dude.
started this.
You
started this.
Flaming Dragon.
You wanted this.
Flaming Dragon. All right?
Flaming.
All right.
Binding resolution.
Let's go for the first name. You ready to throw it up there? Okay, this one's easy.
Connor Bedard.
That sounds right.
Huh?
Is that correct?
Is that good enough for you, Mr. President?
Yeah,
Good job.
good for
Hot
you.
start.
Good job. Attaboy. What's the next one?
Adam Fantilli.
Come
on! I read good.
He read
Fart in the
real
bathtub
good.
and laugh your ass off.
Here we go. What's the next one?
Here we go. Matvei Michkov. Scotty's on fire!
No,
No.
I don't think that's an L, dog.
Where?
That's an I. Maybe you don't
Too
read
far
good.
away.
That's pretty good, though.
That was closer to
Matvei Mishkov.
Matvei.
Give me a second to fix it, please? Thank you.
Okay.
She's a Leo like me. Leo Carlson.
There we go.
Come
That's
on.
some layups
Yes,
right now.
correct.
We're gonna.
Zachary Benson. Come on, baby.
Good
Come
answer.
on
I
down.
did the top 10 draft prospects.
Andrew Cristall. They're all from America. This is great. Will Smith. Keep my wife's name out of your
This has been a
mouth.
huge
Smith.
letdown
Okay.
so far.
Edward
This is the last
Sale.
time we let
God,
TJ
Scotty's on
Yeah,
fire.
TJ, you totally can.
Layups. Oliver Moore. Come on,
Guys, you told
baby.
me to pick the top 10
No,
draft
come
prospects.
on.
This is like
Whole
a different
segment.
round.
Oh, here we go.
Give me a second.
Yeah, take your time.
This is a three-namer here.
Axel Sandin Pelika.
I don't think that's right.
No,
What is it?
Palika.
I don't know.
Palika.
Tomato.
No, that's not. That's
Tomato,
not how this
tomato.
works.
I heard he likes to be called Pelican.
He
He's a
isn't
Pelicans
a
fan.
vegetable.
He's a Pelicans fan.
All right, what else we got? God, did this dude try and kill James
Dalibor Dvorsky.
That's what I would have said.
That's what I
Come
said.
on. Mikael.
Yeah, good luck. you want that? Just like the spelling
on.
bee. You want the root of the word or the
Mikael.
origin?
Mikhail Galiev.
Goliev.
Galiev.
Goliev.
What is
What
it?
is it?
Gulyev.
Gouye.
No,
That's pretty
that
close.
sounds wrong.
Guliev.
That's
That sounds wrong.
All right, we're
Where's the
gonna
second
increase
Y?
the difficulty.
Where's the
of the
second
next
Y? I
one.
felt
All right,
like,
we're
hey,
picking the names.
Yeah,
Chad,
we're picking. This is why I
Chad,
said don't do the
Chad,
top
come
10
on.
in the NHL.
Your boy
But
running
I think the
90%
show-
right
I
there.
think I wanted to do it.
Your boy running 90% right there.
Yeah, you didn't want to
Easy
do
money.
it. Oh, I don't want to do
Easy money.
it.
Easy money.
I don't want to do it.
Come on.
My name's Flaming.
It's not.
All right, what do we got in the Booster Club before we get to Timmy?
Let's go to Brian Ganter with a $5 donation. Appreciate it, Brian. Flaming Dragon is correct. Okay. LeBron is the GOAT, but he isn't likable. Thank you. I appreciate that. Super random, but I will take it. Let's go to Cole Frink with a donation. Cole, thank you. $2 donation. What do David and Jake think about the new name? I think he's going to go, oh, wow, it's not Cole Frink anymore. It's Blaine Frink.
I'm starting to think that's just you,
What do y'all think about the new name?
Mr. Frank,
Mr.
I
Frank.
love Mr. Frank.
Senor Frank?
especially when he says LeBron is mid.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't really think he thinks LeBron is mid. Let's go to Texas Ed. Says the LIV Tour is basically the Savannah Bananas of the PGA Tour.
I don't think that's a crazy.
That's
I don't think
true.
crazy.
Oh, it's an embarrassment on where I'm from.
Yeah, I cannot watch that stuff at all. All right, let's go to Deacon and Nor. He wants to know, hashtag Ask Crain and Company. Let's talk about the Ravens here. Do you think the Ravens should trade Patrick Queen for Chase Young?
I just don't think. Look, Patrick Queen, I know how good Chase Young is. I know how talented he is. He's got to be able to stay healthy, right? Some things are out of your control. It's one of those kind of bang or bust situations to me. All right, Patrick Queen, we know who he is. We know what he is. You know what you're getting with Chase Young. He may come in and be a superstar. He may come in and play 25% of the games. That's one of the biggest questions. That's a great segue into our next ad. Our friends over at Fitbod can help keep up your fitness habit with personalized workouts. They create your own workout program. It's tailored to your goals, your fitness level, and available equipment. It learns from your previous workouts and adapts as you improve. It switches up your exercises to avoid overtraining or burnout while keeping your workouts fresh and fun. We're all trying to stay in shape, right? We already know you blew your New Year's resolution. I mean, we're getting into August right now. You gave up on that thing a long time ago. But Fitbod, it can help you get back into it. Something, guys, if it's less than a cost of a single session with a personal trainer, too. So it's very, very affordable. And you have over 1,400 HD demonstration videos. So it's really easy to do. It's very, very cheap isn't the right word. It's very affordable for a fantastic product that it is. Cone, you lost 31 pounds?
It's a coincidence. Fitbod comes on as a sponsor.
Exactly right. I dropped 45. Blaine drops like 13.
I'm feeling skeet at 15.
Excuse me. That's one.
That one, there's no getting around.
There's no getting around that one. That's me. That's on me. That's one. 2.5.
You just sneaking around.
Breathe it, touch it, love it.
You're a weirdo.
But you can keep up your fitness habit with a personalized workout program from Fitbod and get 25% off your subscription or try the app for free at fitbod.me/booster. That's fitbod.me/booster. And a guy that's super fit, jacked and tan, you ever see him on the golf course? He's out there just smashing it down the middle. Our buddy from Fox Sports, the legend, the Hall of Famer, some call him the chosen one, Tim Brando. Timmy B, what's up, man?
It's great to be along with the incredible shrinking men.
Yeah, I know, right?
Of web television. Yes, I have also dropped 31 pounds, can you tell?
Woo,
There we go.
Face and neck. Face and neck. And in this profession, that's a big deal. But
we could be built like a Christmas tree beneath the navel. No one would really care, would they?
That's exactly right. To quote Ron Burgundy, just no touching of the hair or face.
Yeah, no touching of the hair or face, yeah.
Timmy B is... go ahead. I feel great. And I did make a commitment to it. Last year, you know what happens in our business? In the fall and winter, this was true even when I was, in my late 30s, early 40s. I would always gain about 20 pounds during the fall and winter months. You know, you're on the road, you're waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning for a 6 o'clock flight. Your schedule is crazy. You're staying in hotels that don't have workout facilities in a lot of college towns. And, each year when I'm your age, I'm dropping 15 to 20 in the spring and summer. So I'd get back to level, by balance
time
out.
Football rolled around. When you get a little tip from the tee from Timmy B as you get older, as you get into your 50s and into your 60s, suddenly you're not dropping that weight in the spring and summer the way you once did. So, it's harder to do the older you get. So if you're thinking about FitBod, go do FitBod right now.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay?
Look at
without
that.
a doubt. Timmy B.
Feeling skinny,
I'm feeling skinny, Timmy. Tim, I want to start out. Yesterday, the ACC announced that they're going to be airing 50 ACC games beginning September 9th with Pitt's football game against Cincinnati on the CW. Now, will that come right after in between Charmed and Gilmore Girls or what? But no, in all seriousness, did they snatch something away from the Pac-12 here?
Well, let me explain how that worked. The entire ACC never really got on the ACC network. And the reason for that was ESPN didn't have enough channels to put all of the ACC games on. Okay. What happened with those games, and it's my friends over at Raycom, the former Jefferson Pilot SEC Game of the Week.
Yeah, with Dave, Dan, and Dave.
Dave and Dave, yeah. It was Dave Baker, Dave Neal, and Dave Rowe.
Yeah.
After I left him and went to CBS, Tom Wormy and David Archer had been doing games that were on Sports South, on Fox South, that were sort of under the radar, but being televised. And of course, the issues with the RSNs that baseball and hockey and even the NBA is going through now with Sinclair and all of that going belly up. And they're trying to, everybody's scrambling in the regional cable business now. And this was also true for those games that were on Fox South. Those games had always been produced by my friends at Raycom. Same people that produced the ACC tournament that I was part of for all those years and the SEC tournament that I was part of for all those years. People just didn't talk about it because I don't think ESPN necessarily wanted people to know that they didn't have enough channel space, even with an ACC network, to air all of the games. So what they've done here is they've taken this production that was always being done in-house by Raycom, and they're planning these games on the CW. I think it's a great move for exposure's sake because just about every market along the Atlantic Seaboard's got a CW station, correct? I mean, you can find it. If you know where it's going to be, you can find a CW station almost anywhere. It's a short-term situation because I think that they're obligated. The ACC is obligated, I think, for a period of 5 years or more that ESPN will eventually get all of their games on, but they were never all on in the past. You just didn't necessarily know about it. But when you were flipping through on Saturdays and you were trying to find an ACC game that wasn't on cable, it was or on an ESPN cable. It was on Fox South or Bally South, if you will, after Fox sold their RSNs. So that's what that is. And to answer your question, the Pac-12 has been beaten by just about everybody. So to a certain extent, your point is well made, but they just found a new home, a resting place for these games after the regional cable business was in a lot of financial trouble, and still is. They're still trying to figure out how to get those cable bundles and hang on to stuff. And I think a lot of baseball teams that you can read up on what's going on with the Padres and the Pirates and a few others that have lost money and not getting their money, haven't been paid in a while. It's a similar situation with at least one of those packages that of ACC games that had been on the old Fox South, now Bally South, and that's where those CW games are coming from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, speaking of baseball, the Atlanta Braves just said, that's fine, we'll just do it ourselves. They're merging off, which is smart. You see the Phoenix Suns doing it too in the NBA. My second question for you, and I want to stick with college football here, Timmy B. At some point, the NCAA is looking more toothless and more toothless the more this goes on. It seems like they're going to try and attach themselves more to college basketball where they may have some more cachet. At what point, Greg Sankey just got extended as the SEC commissioner through 2028, not a shocker there. But do you think we are close, or at least on the precipice, of having a legitimate college football commission with a college football czar, commissioner, whatever the hell you want to call it? And if there is a commission, I'd like to nominate us, you, Josh Pate, and then they can just put whoever the hell else they want on there.
Well, at the very least, they should allow the pundits and the self-proclaimed bloviators, right, to have some influence. I do think we're getting closer to that. And in the past, particularly coming out of those meetings in Destin, when I was critical of Greg Sankey over the scheduling situation and that sort of 11th and a half hour decision to stay at 8 games, I have since learned, and I've talked to a number of people, and it does appear that the relationship between the Big Ten commissioner, Tony Petitti, whom I'm very close to, and just saw recently at our college football seminar at Rancho Palos Verdes last week on the 6th and 7th, right after the 4th of July, we were out in California, and I saw Tony, and he spoke to us. He's very, very excited about what he says is truly a collegial atmosphere that's been built now between all of the commissioners, and that is his hope that his relationship with Greg will only continue to grow and improve. And they've already met. Each have been to the other's offices to talk and welcome one another. That's really a good thing, because those are the two big cheeses. Let's face it. They influence the way schedules go. Like, for instance, traditionally non-conference games in the Big Ten have been played against a lot of Mid-American schools. The Mid-American schools, teams like Buffalo, Toledo, Northern Illinois, they've leaned on the Big Ten in a lot of ways to round out their schedules and to make some serious money with money games that were played at Big Ten schools,
like the Sun Belt and SEC and
the Sun, very similar to the Sun Belt and Conference USA with the SEC. And I think that cooler heads are now beginning to prevail. Just a little over a year and a half to 2 years ago, when they couldn't even settle on when to start a season after COVID, and Greg smartly took control of that and really did look like the leader for all of college football, and I gave him great praise for that. But they were at each other's throats after that, and basically the presidents had to get involved and say, "Hey guys, we're going to go to 12 even before this television contract is up. So you guys find a way to make this work. You got to facilitate it." Yeah. Now I think with the Big Ten settling down, Kevin Warren was never one that communicated a lot with the other commissioners. Tony Petitti is the direct opposite of that. He will initiate a lot of conversation, and Sankey and he, I believe, are smart enough to know that they have to take the lead and others will follow. And Brett Yormark has done a remarkable job, as we all know, and I'm sure you saw some of what he had to say yesterday at the Big 12 Media Days. I think that we are moving closer to that commission. And here's my thought. You remember when the BCS began, and each year there was a spokesperson for the BCS, and it was a rotating commissioner? You know, it was the SEC for a couple of years, then it was the Big 12. It was just it sounded like someone was going to speak for everybody, sort of the pool reporter, if you will, for what college football was doing. You know, it was a good symbol, but it didn't have any teeth to it. I think they could put teeth to it now, and allow for the leaders of these conferences on a rotating basis to be in charge of and take the lead and be the spokespersons for the entire sport of college football. And with the understanding that everyone, all those heads, and I don't mean just the Power 5 commissioners, okay? I do mean the John Steinbreckers of the Mid-American Conference, the Mike Oreskos of the American. Those all need to be involved, because when we start talking about 12 and maybe 16, and I really do think when we get the new TV contract, we will go to 16. Remember, that first year in 25 is the last year of the current television deal. The new TV deal is being negotiated in the next 24 months to start in 26. And that, I think, that's when the real money's going to be made. Yeah. And they cannot screw this up. And I'm with you. I do think that having a rotating czar, if you will, or if it can be agreed upon by all of those conference commissioners to take that on, good for them. I don't think they will. I don't think anyone wants to be in that position necessarily. But if they were speaking for the group and they did not have to carry that weight every year, I think it's something that could easily be done. Yeah.
Thank goodness Kevin Warren's not there, because the last time we had a Warren commission, they lied to everybody.
He's with the Bears now, yeah. Well, you mentioned Brett Yormark, so let's go to the Big 12. It's been mostly cordial at media days, even though Commissioner Yormark did say Texas and Oklahoma have not carried the conference in recruiting the past few years, which I don't know if that's factually true. And then clearly Oklahoma State head coach Mike Gundy, you know, he's made it known he is not happy that this Bedlam rivalry is going to be ending with Oklahoma. Are we going to see more shots fired in the coming months as Texas and Oklahoma prepare to leave and head to the SEC?
All right. Well, the part of me that is excited about the start of the season cannot wait to get any Oklahoma-Texas road game in the Big 12.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for that. Okay. Because it's always been fiery. They've always been, you know, the big home game on the other team's campuses, and this is their last shot at them. So, yeah. It's going to be brutal out there when those guys go on the road. A couple of things to consider. When Yormark says that they haven't been leading in recruiting, certainly with Oklahoma, he's accurate. I don't think there's any question the Sooners have not done particularly well recruiting in the last 12 to 18 months, and that's something that they're going to have to solve quickly moving forward. You know, they're going to struggle, I think, to win 8 games this year. You have a season like that, it's hard to overcome. Texas, let me give you a few stat facts on Texas. Okay, we're back, really, team of this decade. We're back. Oh, really? Are you? Of this decade. Since 2009, they have had 3 losing seasons under 3 different coaches. So this is not just, oh my God, a coach just ran them in the tank and that's that. No, 3 different coaches have had losing seasons. All right. Check out the number of players that have been drafted since 2010 from Texas. Now, I know they're the preseason favorite. It's not like they haven't been preseason favorite before. But, and I know their quarterback room is loaded. It's arguably the best quarterback room in college football, although down in Baton Rouge, they might dispute that a little bit. I think Texas, may well play the role of Texas A&M last year because the hype is, again, it's through the roof. It is through the roof. We're great. We're back. They're all saying the right things. Ewers is out there. Hey, we're all on the same page. It looks good. The problem at Texas is not the issue isn't just about the guy wearing the whistle around his neck. Okay, they've got a problem, with the alumni and with the significant alumni and the administration. Sark is a beloved coach that can recruit just about anybody, but he hasn't been able to win to the extent that they're supposed to win. Chris Del Conte is one of the best athletic directors in the country, but he is dealing with a push and pull situation with the Texas culture that's really a problem. I mean, that's the elephant in the room. And a lot of it, guys, is political. Oh, that's surprising, right? Shocking. It's political, but it's true. It is. A lot of Texas fans are at odds with influential Texas fans. Okay, the Texas fan in Austin versus the Texas fan in Houston, Texas, okay, or in Dallas, Texas. It's a different animal.
Yeah.
And that's been the problem there. And until they figure that out, I mean, McConaughey hadn't figured it out, so he hasn't, he will.
All right.
So one point of clarification. When you say this year's Texas could be last year's Texas A&M, you think they're staring down the barrel of a losing season and missing a bowl game?
Well, I mean, what was their record last year? I mean,
Texas A&M, 5-7?
Yeah, 5-7.
Yeah. I mean, I think
Lost
they
to
were
App
picked,
State.
number 6? Weren't they number 6?
Yeah, they're preseason 6. Yep.
Preseason 6, and I got on your show and said, this is the most bogus preseason ranking I think I've ever seen.
I remember
based
that.
on what? It's based on recruiting numbers alone and on the fact that they've got a returning quarterback and the feeling that he's going to stay healthy. Look, I could be wrong. They might roll into Alabama and win. I mean, they could. In fact, I wouldn't be shocked if it happened. They should have beaten them a year ago. But, you look around the Big 12, Kansas State, don't overlook them. Baylor, don't overlook them.
Hell, Texas
Tech.
Yeah.
Texas Tech is loaded. Joey McGuire is ready to take off down there in Lubbock. They get Oregon in week 2. That's going to be a hell of a game.
I got them beating them, Timmy B. I got Texas Tech beating them.
I hope Spencer and I get that game. We're not sure yet what our first 3 games are going to be. We had our meetings a little earlier than normal. But when I look at the schedule of games out there, that game is sort of screaming that we be down there. So we may well be. And I'll tell you another team. You didn't ask me about them, but I'm going to tell you about another team that I think is getting a lot of love and maybe a little bit forgotten. Well, I'll give you 2, okay? In the Big Ten, Wisconsin.
Yes.
Luke Fickell has a schedule that is just made to order in his first year.
Yep.
They are going to chunk that baby around. He's got an offense that's going to look nothing like, all right, what Paul Christ's offense looked like. And the defense isn't going anywhere. It's going to still be really, really good. They got to make some changes because the offense is going to speed the game up a little bit, and they may have to play a few more snaps through the course of the year. And the other team, Tulane. Remember how everyone just rained on Kansas State a year ago when they lost to Tulane early? Okay. Mm-hmm. We found out a little bit later that wasn't a bad loss, didn't we?
Yeah.
We did. Keep an eye on the green wave. They are my fly in the ointment, and they shouldn't be a surprise.
Yeah.
Not after what they did to the Heisman Trophy winner in outscoring him, outpassing him, and winning the Cotton Bowl last year. So keep an eye on those teams in the Big 12, emerging clubs. And we haven't even mentioned TCU. I really believe that Chandler Morris is going to have a Max Duggan kind of season. I really do. I think he can post incredible numbers for the Horned Frogs. And I think their schedule early is going to work out well for them. And, of course, everybody's going to be hearing about them in week 1 when they play Dion in Colorado.
It's going to be a heck of an encore for Sonny Dykes, that's for sure.
All right, Timmy, we're going to get to the Booster Club here. Let's go to Texas Ed. He wants to know, hashtag Timmy B, that's you, sir. Which of the 4 teams added to the Big 12 will become a power program first with the influx of cash dropped into the program?
A couple of things to remember now, and this is true with all teams that are new to conferences. It takes really about 3 years to get your full TV share. Now, your influence and impact is felt a lot sooner than that because you're in that league and you're getting much more exposure. But the schools know this. It's going to take a couple of years for them to start getting the Big 12 money. Okay, for instance, Houston's going to be living off the American Conference TV money for a couple of more years before they get a full share. I think long-term, Houston is a team to really keep an eye on. Market size, strength of Tillman Fertitta as a major booster, and whatever he wants, he's going to get. It's easier for him to bring in that kind of financial influence while they're waiting on that TV money to evolve. And I think short-term, the team that you got to keep an eye on is BYU. BYU instantly brings not just national, but international credibility to the Big 12. A lot more eyeballs will be on Big 12 games because of, their history, not only of the history of the football program, but the Church of Latter-day Saints and their incredible following worldwide to go along with packed houses in Provo. That is a great place for a football game, fellas. I mean, a great place. And when you start looking, people are saying, and I know this is one of the major questions with Oklahoma and Texas leaving, where are the natural rivalries? I've heard that question. Where are the natural rivalries going to be? Well, there's a Baptist Methodist holy war every year called TCU Baylor. Okay, that is a big time rivalry in the Big 12 already. Throw in BYU, okay, into the mix, and you've got a lifestyle. I've always said this about college football. What makes it great is that when the teams line up, it's your way of life against their way of life. The fans view it that way, and I think players do too. And BYU is a team, because of their pedigree, they will be targeted right away, and they can't wait to show off, in the Big 12. They've been sort of an independent contractor out there trying to find games. I think one of the greatest things that happened in COVID was how they, Shiitake and those guys were out there looking for games. Remember that matchup with Coastal Carolina they got when they were both riding high and were undefeated, and they got to play at Coastal? That was one of the best games of the year. Yeah. Now, because of the way college football is constructed, it really didn't matter in the big picture. But, man, it was a fun game to watch. I think we're going to see a lot of that with BYU initially coming into the Big 12.
Definitely. Well, Timmy B, thanks so much for joining us, my friend. It's always great on this Friday. Don't know if you're going to go play a little golf later today, but if you do, my friend, hit them straight and look forward to having you on again soon.
Well, it's great being on with you guys. You know how I feel about you. And
of course,
the next time I'm here, I will have my preseason top 10.
Oh, yes.
Okay?
Oh, good.
In fact,
circle that one.
If you're nice to me, I'll hold it just for you.
Timmy B, well, you know us. We're super duper nice to you. So, I'll be the nicest I've ever been.
There we go.
It's the day that I initiate anger, angst, and bitterness into my social media.
Well, it's college football recipe.
Yeah, I can't live without it. Fans having anger, angst, and bitterness, that's part of the game. So we initiate it. We'll do it the next time I'm here. That would be about 2 or 3 weeks away, maybe 3 or 4 weeks away, something like that. All right?
Yes, sir. Well, we appreciate it, Tim. Thanks so much, my friend. It's always a great time.
You got it.
All right. Well, look, come on. If you're trying to have a great time in the morning, if you're a morning person, even if you're not, right? If you drink coffee, we're about to get to calls, but if you drink coffee, Black Rifle Coffee is the perfect combination of deliciousness, effectiveness, and they give back to people that support and serve this country. So it is a fantastic product. They really know what they're doing, too. We know summer's in full swing, which means barbecues, gatherings, and so much more. You don't always have time to brew coffee the traditional way each morning. That's when you need to check out Black Rifle Coffee's ready-to-drink cans as well. All right, they got Vanilla Bomb, Salted Caramel, Mocha, Vanilla Caramel. Basically, if your taste buds work at all, they got something you're going to really enjoy. And it's veteran-founded. And Flaming Dragon has on the mask right now. Say something about Black Rifle Coffee with the dragon mask on.
It's delicious. Everything they make is phenomenal.
But what else they need to make?
Let me tell you one thing they need to start making, all right? The Flaming Dragon Brew, all right, with this face on it. Go spam their social medias. If not, I hope your house is fireproof, all right? I just hope that.
So save money and drink America's coffee. Go to blackriflecoffee.com. Use our promo code BOOSTER at checkout. for 10% off your one-time purchase or first coffee club order. That's blackriflecoffee.com. Promo code BOOSTER to get 10% off. You can find it in grocery and convenience stores as well. But I think we got a lot better chance of them making a Flamin' Dragon Brew if you go use that promo code. I'm not an advertisologist.
B-O-O-S-T-E-R.
But I would guess that
That's
would
how
work.
it goes.
I thought you were. I thought like.
Nah, I quit those.
I heard
I gave
you
up
were
those
one.
days long.
Why'd you
time ago.
spend that 6 months in Greece then?
There's a lot of stuff going on.
I thought you were French.
I'm not. Let's just get to calls before I panic in here.
Don't panic in here.
Well, you know what? We got Richard on the line in Georgia. Hey,
Rich?
Richard. Yeah, Richard. You think Jake's French or what?
Yeah. Probably.
Oh, that's funny. Richard, what's up, buddy?
Oh, man, just great. How you guys doing, fellas? I'm
Doing
really
good.
excited about being on your show.
Thank you for joining
man.
us.
Excited to have you
Talk
here.
about-
Rich.
I just want to talk about Georgia. Living in Columbus, Georgia, I'm in the South where we're talking about Georgia football all the time, and
Yep.
there's a lot of scrutiny, and Georgia fans are just not satisfied with the back-to-back titles because, in my mind, we have two what-ifs. Jamison Williams gets hurt in the national championship against Alabama, and Marvin Harrison Jr. semifinal against Ohio State.
Yeah. Here's the way I look at it. You always want to be hungry, right? You look at what Kirby's preaching to the team. And when you look at a fan base, and Chris Marler was on yesterday from Saturday Down South, I think that's fantastic that you're not satisfied. But what I will say is this. One of the luxuries that you have as a fan, as somebody that doesn't have to prepare to play the game, we all know we pregame to watch the game, or actually go play the game, is you can take the time to stop and look back and be thankful for it. Because again, I mean, you remember, it hadn't won one since 1980, right? There was a ton of what-ifs in between that time. You look at the Mark Richt era and things like that, there's a lot of close calls. But now you're at the mountaintop. You're at the peak. As a fan, it's fine to sit down and say, you know what? We've won back-to-back national championships. I don't have to sit here and, you've had some of your kids be able to watch Georgia win a national championship. You're going to die having watched Georgia win at least 2 natties if you were born in 1981. All right, I'm 33 years old. I was born in 1989. I've watched Auburn win a national championship, lose another, which that's a huge what if, but I will die knowing that I watched Auburn win a national championship. So as a fan, that's a luxury. You always want to be hungry, right? You want more. Kylo Ren, more. I get that. Take the red lightsaber out. Start slicing everybody up. But at some point as a fan, you do need to be a good combination of thankful and hungry.
Yeah, I love the mindset of not being complacent, but I just watched Georgia win the national championship 65-7.
Yeah, good God.
Every football team throughout a season is going to have close games. You're going to have a close play. But these what-ifs, now that's the old Georgia. Those are the insecurities of the old Georgia. Not now. That's back-to-back natties now.
Yeah, Richard, I'm not saying this to you, Richard, but all the fans who are saying, well, they're a bunch of what-ifs, shut up. Please shut up. What if what? Y'all are rolling people in the SEC and then rolling people when you get to the playoffs. There's no what if. Y'all heard them. All right? Physical ball. That's what y'all play. The best defense ever assembled. It was Avengers.
Mainly Alabama and Ohio State fans.
Well, yeah, they're crying because they lost.
Well, it's think about it. Think about it like this, right? Imagine if you just got Hulk hands every Christmas. Talking about Alabama and really Alabama, let's be honest. Ohio State, they've won them. They didn't dominate. They didn't have that long stretch like Alabama did from a national championship standpoint, and now like Georgia's doing. It's one thing when you just get Hulk hands every Christmas, right? You love it. Then all of a sudden, one Christmas you wake up, you go down the steps, right? You take that package out, you unwrap it. Oh, it's a rawhide wallet.
Yeah, it's a more practical gift.
Yeah, well, it may be more practical, but it's not what you wanted.
A wallet,
right? It's not what you wanted. So again, I think that's what makes it great. It's that race to the mountaintop. And once I always say this, even back from the J-Boy show, once you sip it from the cupeth, you don't want anything else. Look, I had that Oreo cheesecake. I don't want any other type of cheesecake. That's the best cheesecake there is. So at the end of the day, I think it kind of is what it is there, my friend.
Fellas, I appreciate you allowing me to be on your show. I love your show. I'm a huge fan. And You're representing down here in Columbus, Georgia. This is the hotbed of the South. We got Auburn, Alabama, Georgia fans, and I'm just excited. And hey, Columbus, Georgia is also the home of State.
Yeah, we love JP.
Too, and I love it when he's on your show as well. I mean, you guys have a great show, and just keep up the good work.
Thanks so much, Richard. Call in anytime. We love building the Mega Ranger with Josh. Look, we grew up in Lee County, right there, East Alabama. We used to go play Phoenix City right over there by Columbus, so I know all about that. Shout out Red Sticks. Yeah, how about that?
Appreciate it, Richard. Tell those boys over in Statesboro I said hello, too. Kirk's on the line in Canada. What's up, Kirk? Skyhook. Kirk, what's going on?
Hey, boys, what's going on?
Friday, baby.
Friday. I forgot to tell you last time I called in. Do you know how hot it was up here in Canada last Friday?
63.
It was 104.
Oh, my God, dude. All the ice melted.
We were, we didn't know what to do, man. We were melting up here. It was crazy.
Y'all spinning lazy Susans?
Mm-hmm. I'm innocent till my guilt is proven. Sunnyvale, stand up.
So we're going to do a little Canadian sports trivia for you, but don't worry, we're sticking to the major sports for you.
Oh, good luck. Best of luck, Kirk. For me, yes.
You guys
I think.
Wayne
Gretzky.
You can get a potential. You can get a potential 5 points. I think you guys will get at least 3. Do you guys think you'll get at least 3? I think you might.
I don't know.
It's
I'm
not
taking
hockey either. It's not hockey. It's basketball and golf.
Let's do that.
Okay. Question number 1. I think you guys might get this one. He's the only Canadian on the Denver Nuggets roster for this year. He just won an NBA championship.
Yeah, it's Jamal Murray.
Ding, ding. You got one.
Yep.
From Kitchener, Ontario. All right. This is a little harder. The only Canadian to win the NBA MVP.
Give me Steve Nash.
Ooh, that's a good.
Ding, ding.
That's a good.
This guy's on fire.
Won it twice.
Oh, yeah. All right, question 3. What year did Steve Nash win the MVP of the NBA?
Mid-2000s.
2006.
Went back-to-back.
That's what I
Ding,
think.
ding. We've got 3 for 3. I told you you'd get at least 3.
God, I'm on fire right now. Flaming, close your mouth.
He won it He won it in 2005 and 2006. Back-to-back, baby. All right. Question 4. He's the only male Canadian to win a major championship in golf.
The lefty.
Mike
Weir.
Mike Weir.
Mike Weir.
Mike Weir, ding, ding.
Let's go, baby.
Crafty lefty.
Wow, if you took the over at 3.5 right now, you got paid.
Oh, yeah. Last one. What year did Mike win the Masters?
God, I want to say 2001. Hold on. Was it 2003 or was that Phil Mickelson?
I think 2003.
Trust your gut, Coney.
I think Tiger won in 2001.
Yeah, that's right.
Say it.
Do you want 2003?
Cone, say it.
2003.
5 for 5, baby.
Oh, let's go!
Are you kidding
I can't
me?
believe that. Honestly, no, all joking aside. Kirk, I can't believe that.
I'm pretty proud of that
awesome.
one.
I'm proud of you boys.
Dude, Kirk, that was great, man.
Awesome. Love it. Yay. You guys keep killing it every day. Love the show. Keep it going.
Kirk, thanks so much,
Appreciate
buddy.
it, Kirky.
Just remember, look up in the sky, say Skyhook. We're there. Me, Flaming, Cone, and Alfred.
We're there.
Alfred's not coming.
He's holding down the fort.
Yeah.
See you, Kurt.
I need creme brulee at that.
Wow. Pretty shocked right now.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. That's never happened before.
All right. Jan in Lubbock, Tumbleweed.
There we go.
1477. What's going on, Jan?
Hey, good morning, boys.
Good
What
morning.
up?
So glad you're back.
Yes.
Jan.
I tell you that there's only one. Well, first of all, Flaming Dragon, you look pretty sharp today.
Love you, Jan.
And also, I wanted to say I'm so glad you're back. It's just been wonderful. The only good thing about you being off for a few days is an old retired lady. I got to sleep in a few days.
There you go.
With my coffee in hand, And just some quick things.
Yeah.
Ludwig Aberg, he showed up at the John Deere.
Yeah, he did.
Texas Tech golfer. I'm so proud of him.
Yep.
I also cannot wait for football season and basketball season to start. I'm beginning to feel a little hopeful again.
Yes.
And David, I want us to keep on the plan of supporting local sports. I want
Let's
you
do
to
it.
really rally around that because those kids need it.
Yes,
and I'm
ma'am.
sort of sick of all the big teams and all their politics. Let's go local, kids.
Golly, Jan. Now I'm fired up on a Friday.
It's like buying groceries. I'm going local now. It's farmers
See?
market.
Exactly. It's a movement. I
It is
love
a
it, Jan.
movement.
And
Jan,
the
and
other thing
yeah,
I'm
go ahead.
hoping for is Texas Tech and Texas to the SEC with their tail between their legs and tears in their eyes.
Tell them, Jan.
Oh, believe
Hey,
me, they're all
guns
hunting
up.
for him. They're all hunting for him, but we're excited about what Coach McGuire's doing and Ludwig doing his thing at the John Deere after sweeping all those awards. I'm not surprised, and I know you're not, Jan, and we always love when you call in, and we appreciate you.
And Rapinoe's retiring. Thank goodness.
Yes.
Get out of here.
Celebrate. Let's have a
Get
parade
out.
about that. I'll buy 2,000 tickets just for that.
Get out of here.
Okay, boys. Have a great weekend.
You too,
and,
Jan.
love you so much.
We love you too,
Love you,
Jan.
Jan.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thanks.
Oh, that's just awesome.
Yeah.
Steve in Ohio. Is this Steve's action figure frenzy, you think?
What do you think?
Huh? I think yes. Steve, what's going on?
It absolutely is Steve's action figure frenzy.
There he
What's
is.
up, Stevie?
Okay, first, before I get to my who did what trivia, Jake, you got to take back that Reds comment.
Take it back.
Take that comment back.
Take it back.
Hold on,
We're
let me
leading
think
the
about it for a
division.
second. Let me think about it for a second.
Take that comment back.
No.
Take it
Oh,
back.
God, this is actually
Jake?
horrifying. That's a big
Tell him,
deal.
Steve.
Steve, I'm sorry,
Ellie De La
Steve.
Cruz, Ellie De La Cruz is going to have his ups and downs, but I guarantee you he's going to have more ups than downs.
Oh, I would bet on that. I just, with the pitching staff, I think they've been above their head. They've thrown above their head. Can they do it for another half? I don't know. And I'm not saying the Reds aren't going to make the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to win the division.
Fair enough.
No, pitching is their only problem.
It's a big
They
problem.
have like
Yeah,
an over
it's a big one.
7. They have like an over 7 ERA in the first inning.
I know, which tells you what? Like
Take the Yerfie.
eventually. And look, I know. Well, yeah, that is very
Take
true.
the Yerfie.
You're at some point, and I know the offense hadn't exactly been just explosive throughout the whole first half, but at some point you are going to have to win games on the mound, especially late when you get into clinching time. I don't know, man. The spidey senses are going off the charts on that one.
You're Tobying right now?
I'm Tobying so hard.
If they can get a couple of decent starters, I'm not talking about top of the rotation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If they can get a couple of decent starters at the trade deadline, they'll be a lot better off than they are.
They need to make some moves. I agree.
What's that sign say above you, Steve? Believe.
Believe.
It says believe.
You tap that sign,
The
Steve.
sign above me says be more like Steve.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's a great sign. I have that one too, Steve.
Okay, now we'll get to my who did what trivia.
Let's do it.
And I've changed it up a little bit. I'm going to give you the 3 players and the 4 stats. And one of the stats applies to all 3 players. The other 3 stats apply to 1 player each. To win, all you got to do is give me the stat that applies to all 3 players.
Okay.
Gotcha.
All right.
Okay. And then if you get that right, then we can go for bonus and see if we can figure out the other 3 stats.
Gotcha.
Sound good?
Yep.
All right. The players are Joey Votto, Albert Pujols, and Prince Fielder. All right. The stats are from the 2010 baseball season.
Okay.
All right. The stats are drawing over 110 walks, an on-base percentage of over 400, over 115 RBIs, and a batting average over 320.
My guess is the walks go for all of them.
Anybody else have a guess?
Is that the way it goes, or is it one player
that has all three
the
stats?
No. I must have heard him wrong.
No, one of the stats applies to all three players.
One of the stats applies to all three players. I think it's the walks.
All three players.
I think it's the walks. That's my guess.
Yeah, I like that. I mean,
so we're going
pool holes for sure.
Yeah.
I'll go, what was it, walks, batting average, and
RBIs.
RBIs? Give me RBIs.
And on-base percentage over 400.
Give me the ribbies.
I'll take the walks.
Okay. None of you are correct. The one that applies to all three players was the on-base percentage over 400.
Wow.
Fielder got on.
See, that's the one that I was thinking.
Votto was the batting average over 320. Pujols was over 115 RBIs, and Fielder was the only one to draw over 110 walks.
God, I thought Joey Votto's got such a good eye. I keep forgetting how long Joey Votto played, too. That he was playing back in 2010. It's 2023 right now. But no, Steve, great stuff, man.
Thank you, brother.
But come October, you're going to be changing your mind about the Reds.
Hey, I hope I am, because it's the greatest story in baseball right now, in my opinion. Outside of me watching the Braves just whip everybody's ass.
Yeah.
All right, Steve. See you, buddy.
Nighthawk, back-to-back callers in Ohio. What's going on, Nighthawk?
What's going on, guys?
What's up, bro?
I made a list, and nowhere on it was 100% rawhide wallet. But I will tell you what was on it.
What was on it?
What?
What was on it?
There was some breaking news in UFC this morning, and that's what was on it. And that news is Jamal Hill has to vacate his light heavyweight title due to a ruptured Achilles.
Dang.
So what does that mean in the division?
So that's my point. So in 2 weeks at UFC 291, in the co-main event, we have Jan Blachowicz facing Alex Pereira for his debut light heavyweight. If you're Dana White, though, do you make that the title match, even though it's his first fight there, or what do you do?
Yes.
I have to vacate the title because I blew my Achilles out.
That's rough.
That just, I don't like that. I feel like it's, outside of some career-ending injury, or, it's not like he pulled a hamstring or something like that, which is very painful. I'm not huge on the vacating titles because I got hurt. They're like me saying, oh, wait, Barry Bonds, hits, 70 home runs, but he pulled his hamstring in the last game.
I guess it does hold up the division, though.
Maybe it's a necessary evil.
Like you're gonna
maybe it's a necessary evil. I'm just
have surgery. Like you're just holding up.
What if interim champ until old boy gets back?
I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't feel right.
It didn't feel right because when the champ got hurt and he can't do his thing.
Well, then you get the title, then old boys get surgery, you come back, and then we'll square up and find out.
I don't like it.
Nighthawk, is Alex Pereira moving up to light heavyweight to stay?
I'd say so. He's too big. He's 225 during fight night. I mean, that's too big for a 185 class. So I think he does move up there. I don't think he wins, though, this weekend, as you saw when Izzy moved up. Because when Izzy moved up, they're practically the same fighter, Izzy and Pereira. When Izzy moved up, he faced Jan Blachowicz, and he lost because wrestling. Well, Alex Pereira doesn't really have much wrestling because he's a kickboxer.
So will Pereira moving up to light heavyweight keep us from getting the Izzy trilogy?
Most likely. I mean, they've pretty much already drawn up their new rivalry there with the South African Duplessis, who actually fought this last week. And if you guys didn't see that whole rant in the octagon, it sounds like that's already drawn up. So I don't think that we will see that trilogy in the UFC.
Yeah. Well, it's a shame, but they had a lot of good fights. So.
Absolutely.
Well, hey, some big UFC news coming from us, too.
Yeah. Get ready. Look
forward to it. I'm your UFC guy.
Oh, yeah. We appreciate you, Nighthawk. You're the man.
See you, man.
Take care. Great weekend.
One last one if you boys want it.
Yeah, real quick.
Thomas from Connecticut. Thomas, you have 30
what's
seconds.
up, buddy?
What's going on?
Oh, I made it.
Hold on, Tommy. What's up?
Friday.
Yeah.
Yo, if that skyhook is going over Canada, make sure it loops over Connecticut on the way.
Dude, listen, hop on. We got room. We have 2 different hooks. We upgraded.
Hitting Bucky's,
That's
too.
what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. What do I do with my hands? I'm on the show.
I know, right?
It's not a spaceship. It's a trust tree.
That's exactly right. Let it just envelop you.
Really great to have you guys back on the air. This is awesome. Thanks for coming back. Quick question. NFL, change it up a little bit. I'm in Connecticut, but I care a lot about those Kansas City, as Andy Reid would say. Chiefs.
Yes, sir.
A lot of rumors there about DeAndre Hopkins, and a lot of interest from the Chiefs getting Hopkins. The question is Kadarius Toney going to be a premier wide receiver if he remains the number one there? And what would the need be for Chiefs to get Hopkins? Of course, he would be an ad if he did, but can Kadarius fill that role for an entire season?
Well, when I look at Kadarius, what he brings, I think he's kind of the total package. He's a guy that can affect you vertically. He's a guy that can put in the slot. He's a guy you can give a now screen to. And I think, look, it all plays off Travis Kelce, right? You have to loop Travis in there with the wide receivers because he is the number one target. He is the security blanket. What Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy did winning the Super Bowl last year with probably, for lack of a better term, the worst skill position set of players that they're going to have maybe while he's there. Adding a DeAndre Hopkins, adding that veteran presence obviously helps out a guy like Kadarius Toney and helps out all those young wide receivers and the rest of the guys that are around him. But I think that'd be huge. I think it's almost like when Georgia gets another 6'8", 300-pound offensive lineman commit. The rich are just getting richer. And Kansas City does have some room to operate by adding more skill players. That's why it was so huge that the young back ended up kind of working out for you too. Clyde Edwards-Helaire had a really good run there. But that way you're not overspending in certain aspects of it. So when I look at the Chiefs and I look at the skill position group, adding DeAndre Hopkins, it's another huge weapon for Patrick Mahomes who makes everybody better. But I think Kadarius Toney isn't going to be the main guy because that's Travis Kelce, but he can help make the dish taste even better.
Oh, I like it. Looking forward to the next season. We're going after more.
Look, you guys are probably going to win it again, to be honest with you.
More.
That's right. All right. Take it easy, guys. Really appreciate it. Flaming Dragon Friday. Out.
Thomas, appreciate it, buddy. Thanks so much.
Week, buddy.
All right, real quick before we get to bets, I want to first off thank Shane Lowry for taking out Justin Rose and Victor Hovland. You Swedish. I'm not even going to say it. But real quick, if you're one of the many millions of men who, like Hovland, lost, but you're losing your hair, and women that are dealing with premature hair thinning and hair loss, or maybe you're scared about inheriting that thinning look. Thanks, Dad. Our friends over at Provia, you need to take advantage of it. They have an exclusive introductory summer package at proviahair.com/booster. That's PROVIA hair.com/booster. If you enter promo code booster at checkout, you get an extra discount on top of that order because you don't want to be the guy that walks into the bar with premature thinning hair. Maybe you're back in the dating game, trying to get back on the horse. Maybe you haven't been on the horse, but you're in the stable looking for one. You want to make sure you have stable hair. Come talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, look, you want to be a leg up when it comes to competition, especially when it comes to females, and a leg up is having hair.
Yeah, and it's for women too. Women, women have hair loss. That's a real thing. The only cool thing that's bald is a bald eagle, David.
Yeah, look, get on it now. You're saying well, I have a good head of hair, so I don't need Provia. Hey, joke's on you. 15 years from now, what's going to happen?
That's exactly right.
Preventative, you know?
Yeah,
you don't have to deal with those issues.
Out there looking, you got the horseshoe head on top of it. You don't want that. So go to Provia, all right? ProviaHair.com/booster. That's PROVIA hair.com/booster. I'm going over the bets. Went 1-1 yesterday. Well, technically this morning in the Scottish Open. Baseball's back. Giants. Thank you, God. Here's what I got today. Cubs money line, +100 at home. And the Reds money line, even though I don't think they're going to hang on the division, I like them in game one. Graham Ashcraft, come on now. Let's everybody look at it. Reds money line, those are both +100. David?
I'm going Wimbledon semis here. Give me Djokovic and Alcaraz both to win in a parlay. That's -141. And then Djokovic -2.5 sets against Sinner. Think he wins in straight sets, but that one's +115.
Blanye East.
All right, give me
Blanye. Blanye.
I mean, like you said
No,
my name.
you're taking too many liberties
Yeah,
with
you
that.
say my name. Like,
Oh,
he already
too many
did it
liberties?
once. He already did it once, and we let it slide. So
Okay, hold on.
Technically, should be 3.
That's still 2. It's still the under.
Technically, in my book, that's 3 because he said my name. That's
No,
what
he
he
said
did.
What are you talking about? When I
No,
said,
he
would
said
you just stop
Blaine,
making
then added a kid at the end of it.
statements?
See,
All
like,
right.
It was
See,
said
you're
on
getting
there.
too lenient in there.
Now,
Obviously,
now
you
we
are.
got him.
Now
And it's
we've got
becoming
L.
a
See
problem.
that? Look
Take
at
the
it.
It's becoming a
Look
problem.
at it.
Anyways, this is what I'm
Okay,
taking.
Dad,
Give me the Angels, Stros, Nerfy, plus 100. Then give me the Mariners, Tigers, Nerfy, minus 140. Can't wait for Ty France to ruin that for me.
Yeah, Ace Cone. He's going to take the Orioles, Mariners, Nerfy minus 110, and the Braves minus 1.5. That's at minus 140. Can we throw up the booster graphics from the winners for last month and who's leading right now? Want to make sure we get to those. We got to give our girl Sister Riggs a shout out, who won the month of June. Right now, Cody Nason.
Ooh, Cody
That's right. The Graphic King's leading, but Sister Riggs, when you're looking at your screen right now,
plus 10
is
units?
June. Yeah, she had a hell of a month. But Cody right now is 10-3. All right. But he's got Tyson's right hooks on his trail. Make sure you get your bets in. Go to JCrain_ on Twitter. You can find it. I posted it. It has a link to the bets and the standings. All right, we're getting hot and ready for football season now. There's going to be a ton of bets in here. We're setting records each month on the amount of bets. So make sure you get them in. We appreciate you guys. So glad to be back. SEC Media Days next week. It's in Nashville. We're going to be there. We're going to be live. Normal show. Going to be bringing you a ton of great content. And like the chances.
Where's our graphic?
Oh, that's right.
There's no graphic.
That's right.
You lost.
Just forget
Like you
our
lost. They
graphic?
said it 4 times. They said it 4 times.
We won. We won
The
today.
chat
Good job,
agrees.
They said it
Great job,
twice.
guys.
No, they
Great
didn't.
job. Hey,
no,
good
they
attempt.
didn't.
Good
The chat agrees. You're getting lenient in there, and it's obvious.
Okay,
Look,
find
my
me
player
after.
prop.
You want to check
Get out
my
my
hand?
face.
Props
You want to check
Get
my
out my
hand?
face.
You want to check my? Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, right back at
My
you, buddy.
face.
Right back at you, buddy. But like the chances of the overhitting on Flaming Dragon
It
Friday
hit.
ever again.
It hit.
We're going. Shut up, Flaming. Gone.
Blaine.